Hello everyone. Bet you weren't expecting me that quick. Anyhow, welcome to possibly one of my last videos on Dark Souls 3. Now, you'll probably raise an eyebrow. You're reviewing the DLC now? Well, I didn't actually expect or plan to. But nonetheless, I think it's best to get it off my chest. I'm gonna be blunt about this, at least right out the door. This is not my favorite DLC. At all. In fact, of all the DLCs, it's one of my least favorite of all the Dark Souls series, but let's begin. Now, I'm going to do this a bit of a walkthrough as I recollect my first experience. Now, the first thing you meet is this fellow who you have no repercussions about killing, so I immediately did so. And then you get out into the world. Now, most DLCs give you a nice good little view on where you're going. Astral Draenor is the opposite. You get a snowstorm. Yes, a snowstorm. Great. Lovely. So yeah, so you immediately go into it's like, oh look, weird trees that look like women with tiny fires on there. That's different. And you go to observe this, and then of course someone throws an effing javelin at you. These enemies are the followers. You think you'll sneak up behind them, and oh no, it's a gang attack right outside the door, right when you start this damn DLC. Great. Get used to gang attacks. So, now I gotta talk about the followers and how they're the most used enemy and the most boring enemy. They're only as interesting as their weapons are, which isn't saying too much for them. But anyway, after you kill them, you go on there and you fall down a ridge like, oh shoot, here we go. And you're in another part of that forest, still in a snowstorm. And just, already I'm sick of this snowstorm. So I don't want to be here. It's like on any other environments, and of course, wolves. Great. Dogs. I'm not a fan of dogs. And of course, it's a gang attack. I'm not surprised though, that's actually how fights of wolves are, unless they're gigantic and wielding swords in their mouths. So you quickly wipe out the wolves. They're not too much of a challenge. But of course, they howled and brought more wolves. Like, oh, sweet God. And so you killed the second group of wolves. So yeah. And at the end of the day, you got now a giant pile of dead dogs. Lovely. Alright. Now you move on to the further down this direction, and then you realize there's more wolves. And beyond that, which I'll not show footage, is a giant wolf. So we'll just turn the other way. So, you go up the hill and like, oh look, these trees look like women actually move. And then you realize, oh shoot, that's a homing attack. Run. Not that it actually hurts individually, just so many damn little attacks. Then you quickly realize these enemies are not fun to fight. Just like everything else that's so far happened in this DLC. This is all within the first 30 minutes, mind you. Or, depending on your speed, the first 10 minutes. So after you kill all these, well, at least 4 of them, you get sick of fighting them, and of course, more wolves. Great. And of course, you try to run past them all, and you get slaughtered. More than likely the case. So when you do make it past, whether by running or by killing everything, you get into this ridge. Alright, and then you see an offshoot path. Oh, neat! A branching path. But then you quickly realize, oh, it's for that other path you chose not to go through because of the other wolves. We'll not be talking about that path, because there's nothing really worth it, in my opinion, down that way. And the other enemies we'll talk about later. So you move on ahead, and there you have it. The church. This is what you should have seen, or something similar, right when you got to this location. Like, right when you got into this DLC, you should have saw this. Some ridge or something. Like, oh look, there's a church, there's a giant bridge, and there's a town. That's where I could be going. Instead of a damn snowstorm. I hated the approach they did to this DLC. But no matter, we're not going to go in the church because we'll get there later. We already know what's in there. So you go down the ladder after visiting church and probably immediate disappointment and told you to go home. So of course you do quite the opposite. You go visit the town. You think, okay, the town's not that big, but hey, it must be one of many, right? Right. And of course the first enemy to greet you with, another follower. 2. So yeah, very boring enemies. Okay. Okay, let's hope there's not any more followers, which luckily there aren't, at least not for a short while. And you decide to go down. Now I found this interesting, this slide mechanic. It's not done anywhere else in Dark Souls. I found it very strange. It's never done again either. At least not to my knowledge, or my memory. Oh well. So you get down to the city and it's like, oh look, another dump. How fitting of Dark Souls. What's the local residents? Oh look, they're all sploon across the front gate. They rolled out the red carpet for you. Alright, and you jump down because you think they're all dead. And you take 2 steps in front of them. Oh no, they're not dead. They're in there, look like crazy bird people, so you immediately slaughter them without thinking a second thought. We all did it. Okay, so you get inside and you end near the Blood River. And this place is pretty neat, the Blood River. Alright, looks pretty good. Kind of Dark Soulsy, and you see him. Ooh, that guy looks interesting. I didn't have a name for these guys, I don't even remember it. But you think, okay, this guy looks like he might be more of a challenge, more than the followers and the bird people you killed. And the battle begins, pretty quickly too, and he's pretty nimble. But then again, I make this game look boring sometimes, because he's already dead. Yeah, these guys are no challenge. They die easily. Very easily. Alright, so moving on from down the Blood River, you eventually get to inside this little town. Get to the bonfire, and then you're like, okay, oh, everyone's up and moving. It must be bingo night. That's where everyone must be going. Up to town, up to the church to do bingo. And you think, hey, I want to play bingo. I want to improve my chances. So you start killing the residents. And it's like, okay, no one seems to mind. They're all pretty much ignoring you. Don't know why. It's rather strange. Can't really explain why they ignore you, because, of course, when you kill someone, nobody cares. But if some of those weird bird people kill someone, everyone freaks out. So I guess you're not important enough. That's pretty rude. I don't like that bird person. You know, the one with all the armor. So he throws knives, kills another one, and he throws knives at me, so it's on now. Okay, this one is a rapier, so it must be more interesting, and no. You can kill him the exact same way. He gets only, what, 1 hit off on me with that blade, and he's dead already. So yeah, interesting. Not really. So you collect your Titanite shard, and you go up the rest of the place to go to church to play bingo. So of course, not the actual way you would take, but for the sake of time, we'll just go this way. Now you get inside and skip bingo, because no one came after all. You get inside here, and guess who's waiting for you? Sir Wilhelm, who is guarding the church and telling you to go home. I'm not sure how he got from the church to here before you did, but to fight for sake of interest and probably time, I'll cut it out and just wear his armor. He's pretty cool, he has a pretty cool blade. Now after you defeat him and free said person on Lombard spelling it here, you get this bonfire, and alright, you did pretty good. Got through the town. And you realize, wait, that's the end of the town? Alright, there must be another town up ahead. We know there is no other town up ahead. We know there's nothing else. So yeah, another problem with me this DLC, it's short. Like, short in terms of where you can go. So you get to the forest, and of course, what enemies you get? More followers. These guys are redundant. I do not like fighting these guys, they're boring. They're everywhere. And even their weapons are also just as boring. But oh well. Chances are, you like me, you'll just charge right past everyone, because just to learn the area, and then you realize, oh, you can just skip half of them, because they don't care if you just run right past. They just don't follow you very far. So yeah, the followers, I find them as the worst enemies in almost all the DLCs for Dark Souls. They're so boring. So you get up the ridge, and okay, you think you're on the right way, and of course, oh no, more wolves, more dogs. God damn it. So you kill those dogs as quickly as you can, and nope, another one just called for help. Of course. So you kill that dog, and then you look, oh great, guess what you have? A second pile of dead dogs. This is kind of a running theme, isn't it? So let's move on from the pile of dead dogs. You go up the ridge, and since I didn't take the alternate path in the beginning with the giant wolf and other wolves, we go up to our first Millwood Knight. It's like, oh, okay, this guy's big. These guys are the most interesting enemies of the DLC. They're big, they're tough, and they're not really should be fucked with. It's like, okay, how tough can they really be? Yeah, they can't be that tough, right? Wrong. They will kill you. At least once. So you get past them and you go, oh look, a mine shaft. What could possibly be in here? But all you know, the mine shaft goes up, and then you realize, oh, it's not a mine shaft. It's, I don't know, a catacomb? I don't know what to call this place. A wine cellar? It might be a wine cellar, given its location. But inside you find giant flies. Gross. Do you like fighting these giant flies? Do you? I hope you do, because we all know when we get down to this place, That's all there is down here, and there is a lot of them. An uncomfortably large amount. Annoyingly so. It's like, couldn't they just throw a bit of more variety in? But no, it's just, I don't know, 50 of these guys down here? 50 is a large number. Eventually you do get past, like, okay, here we go, goes up. Okay, where's the new location? Where's it going? Awesome, where is it? And you get to the top of the stairs, and then when you know it, you're back at the church. Mine's on fire because of the Ring City DLC. But you know what? It's fine that it's on fire. It's a perfect euphemism for how I feel when I got here. It's like I did all this for one giant loop, which you had to do though. Alright. So other than that, you go back down. Is there anything else? You might find a hidden door. And this is pretty interesting. And when you do get outside, it's like, oh look, it's that weird circular arena place that I wanted to get to. Of course, getting down, you gotta drop down, and of course you lose health on the way. But when you get there, like, oh, a scripted spirit. Interesting. He must be interesting. And of course, he's just a pretty good guy. He wields a katana, throws fire in your face. So the fight ensues. He doesn't use a shield, so he dodges a whole lot. So he thought, okay, maybe something else will happen. But after you get a few slices in, and then you realize, no, nothing else happens. He's already dead. Great. And he is dead, and then you immediately turn back because this is a dead end. Fantastic. Now, on to the Sister Freed fight. Now, as you noticed, I have someone else's footage because mine was lost. But no matter, it makes a little difference. The Sister Freed fight I'm not really fond of. I don't find it extremely hard, no. It's not overly difficult. It can be, if you don't prepare for it right, but I just find it far too long. First stage here is a bit of more of a nuisance fight, where she spends half the time just running from you. Fights like this drive me nuts when they just turn invisible, you don't know where they are, it's just a waiting game, and then you get punished if you don't dodge it on the right cue. I find this very aggravating, as we all did, no doubt for the first few fights. And then of course you defeat her, and then you think you get a break? No. Fight 2 begins, and it's for her and her father. But something interesting, they both share a bar of health, which is normally reserved for a mob fight. Well, this is still 2-on-1, or depending if you brought any friends. But yeah. So in a sense, you can just go for her father, because her father's a bigger and much slower one. Although, Freed has no intention to sit still and still will attack you, but she'll still keep her distance while doing so. So it's easy just to gang up on her father. Now, even though he does in the beginning of the cutscene ask for his flail, it's nowhere to be seen. It's strange. You'd think there'd be a point where he would bring it out instead of trying to beat you with the singing bowl. But no matter. The fight, in retrospect, the fight's incredibly easy. And it's not that difficult at all. And of course she will heal, but that's also easy to interrupt. I can't really see any redeeming value of this fight, this in-between. Now, you could bring Slave Knight Gale to help you, and that's different, given how the Ring City treats him in the end. But still, it's like, why is this fight here? Why do we have to do this fight? I guess you could have did him the father figure alone, and, you know, given him transformation halfway through the fight where he gets out of the chair and, you know, he whips out that flail and beats your ass with it, but none the case. And then you defeat them, and you think, okay, is it over now? Well, no. It's not over, as we know. It goes to a third boss fight. It's a boss rush. A very annoying one at that. So it's just a variant of the original first fight, except she gets maneuvers. She has now dark damage, which you have very little resistance to, chances be, especially in the first time playing. So yeah. Then it comes again and play with her running away. So I'm just very irritated from this fight. Like, I don't like fighting her because she's just very annoying. On the scale of the 1 to 10, I put her in the 8 region of annoying to fight. In terms of top 5 annoying boss fights, this is definitely, I don't know, 2 or 1. I haven't really thought about it too much. But no matter. In terms of the difficulty, well, again, it's more difficult, but it's only by the difficulty of her running away. If she didn't run away, the fight would be significantly shorter. But that's simply how it is. If you brought a gang of your friends, if you have 3 of you, this fight will be over in a flash, no matter what playthrough you're on, because you cannot concentrate on multiple opponents. But alone, as you see, or as Harry94, as he lovely put his watermark there, which is fine by me, you can see that it does take time, even at sped up footage. I didn't put the sped up indicator here because the whole thing is sped up for the interest of time. But I'll not cut out the boss footage. And you go, well, by this time you're probably sick of the sped up music too. But no matter. I figure it's best to keep in the original music at a sped up pace because I found it quite humorous. Now, in terms of other bosses, as we know, there's only one other boss. So this DLC is also light on things to fight that are colossal. Yeah. But no matter, the boss fight's done, you get a soul, and you can turn it to one of either weapons that I find very mediocre. Or I guess the flail's alright. After the fight, you immediately get angry. You go outside, you wail on these guys because you think the DLC's over. Like, god damn it, I paid money for this thing? Ugh, felt like a ripoff. And then you noticed, hey, a lot of people died here. Why is that? Wait a minute. What's that over to the left? That's a ladder. You might have noticed it earlier. Or not, but I didn't notice it at first. It's like, hey, how do I get to that? Oh, the bridge. This trick again. Now, it's clever when you think of it again, but then again you think it's not so clever that they're just reusing the same trick twice. But oh well. Some people might find this earlier, some people don't. I found it after my Sister Freed fight. And that's simply how it is. And you descend, it's okay, a whole new area, what's down here? Must be a whole lot of stuff. Well, first thing I'm gonna find is more followers, and I just grit my teeth at this point. Like, more of these damn cunts. So sick of fighting them. So sick of fighting the followers. Why are they even here? What do they do? Okay, and after going halfway down, and you're probably sick of fighting the followers, of course, it goes up another notch. Oh look, there's a Millwood Knight with one of those bows. We both know we're not going to cross this. So we fight him the only way we know how. Of course, with our own giant bow. Of course, it might take, I don't know, 20 arrows or so, but we got that, don't we? Most of the time we do, anyway. Now, after he's defeated, and you go down, so, right, get into the floor here. You actually can get down here without dying. You know, fall into my death. Some people may have fell into their death. Okay, we can just move forward. And before long, before we even get to the other Millwood Knight's corpse, oh look, another Millwood Knight shooting us in the back. Of course, we take for the hills at this point, because we're not fighting them. It's like, okay, where do we go now? Oh, there's a giant crab. I'll worry about him later, and, oh good, a bonfire. Praise the sun for that bonfire. So you go to that bonfire and come back. It's like, okay, fight a giant crab. Why not? Giant crab? Sure. They're annoying. They might run for me, but hey, I'll fight it. And then you see a second one. It's like, okay, screw that. Nope, 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 nope. And then eventually thought, okay, what's behind the giant crab? So you know the giant crab and run right past him. And then, okay, got more of those tree women folk. Weird. But shouldn't the ladder be here? If you're thinking to yourself, yeah, the ladder should definitely be here. Have curiosity. So you just beat the tree folk women here, and he's like, where's the ladder? It should be here, and you have a homeward bone. And it says, even people telling you ladder, and it's like, where's the ladder? So you go down further, and you defeat more of the tree folk women. I'm not sure what they call them, I forget their names. I don't really care either way. You get the snap freeze. So okay, well, what's the point of that? This is a dead end. Fantastic. Barely goes any direction, it's a dead end. And of course, your messages may read, destroy, and then something else appears, and then secret passage is like, what? What did I do? What? And of course, I've already done the requirement. It's killing the enemy and getting that item. Because when you go back, oh look, ladder! Suddenly appears. Okay. So you go the other direction, since the ladder takes you back up to the bridge. And I thought, okay, this looks neat. This looks like a super secret area. This looks awesome. Like, yeah, this is a boss area. Definitely a boss area. And then you approach it, he gets up. Like, oh, what's this? This is not a phantom. There's an NPC. And you didn't realize the boss music plays, and I, of course, forgot to turn on my HUD. So I'll quickly do that. The champion's grave tender. Wish I could fight the champion, but hey, this guy might be a good substitute. And of course, he sicks his dogs on you. More wolves. Haven't fought enough of them in his DLC. That's for sure. Now, the champion's grave tender is, how do I put this? Boring. This fight is boring. This guy, he fights, we know his weapon allows him to guard while attacking, but that's all he has. This fight's boring. super boring. In fact, I'm glad that most way through the fight, he calls in reinforcements, because I was like, this fight's a disappointment, and boom, another wolf. It's a giant wolf, and doesn't have very good defense, but it's there. Okay, now this fight's interesting again. And of course, this cunt just whips out his staff, like, oh, you have no intention of fighting me up close again? So we could get rid of him, because of course, trying to fight both at once is just a pointless pain in the ass. Okay. Now it's only you and the wolf. And the wolf just starts freaking out, dashing everywhere. It's like, this fight is nothing but boring and annoying. Not much different from the Sister Free fight, except not as difficult. Yeah. You get the idea of how I feel about this DLC a bit more now. Because the wolf is dead before you know it. And boom. It's dead, you get the champion's bones, let you fight online now. I was like, that's where you get it. Gotcha. And the Valheart was a rather boring weapon. So yeah, here you are at the end. Nothing else is here. There's another dead end, and you realize this is the end of the DLC now. There's nothing else here. The weapons are a bit of a disappointment. The environment was very bland. The boss fights were a bit of a letdown. And what do you have at the end of your road to show for all this? Well, if anything, at least you have 3 dead piles of dogs somewhere in the area to show that you've done this. Let's go on to the score for the Ashes of Durandal. There are no pros and cons this time, just strictly a score. For the environment, I give it 4 out of 10. There is way too much snow in the beginning. It was done poorly in my opinion. Way too much forest. There was only one town. The church you did very little with, including up to the beginning and the end, so it's just a set piece. At least there's one deviation path with the bridge. Okay, going on to the enemies, I give it 5 out of 10. The Millwood Knights are pretty good. I like them. And the bird people are alright, the ones in armor. But the rest of the enemies were annoying, or too many of. Too many followers, too many wolves, and too many flies in one given area. Now, for the weapons, I'll give a 4 out of 10. Some of the weapons were okay, but I found a lot of them just boring. Not interesting, and just didn't really add anything to the catalog. I found most of them just clones of other weapons, or maybe combining weapons. And those that were different didn't really do a whole lot of damage. Bosses, I give it a 2 out of 10. There's only 2 bosses. One is an NPC with a giant wolf that likes to bounce all over the place. The other one's Sister Free times 3 that likes to run away from you. Neither of these fights are appealing to me. I hated both of them. They're not hard, well, Sister Free can be, but I find both of them irritating to fight. Miscellaneous, I give a 4 out of 10. The environment wasn't totally terrible, location I mean, but I felt like how I went about it was pretty bad. The fact that we didn't see a whole lot of interesting things in this DLC, that's what kind of irked me a lot. But in the end, I give the Ashes of Durandal 19 out of 50. I find it bad. In hindsight, I didn't really enjoy this DLC too much. But, oh well, it's simply my opinion in the end. And that wraps up how I feel about the Ashes of Durandal DLC. Now, I'm surprised that you're still here watching this, listening to me rambling. Now, I know you're probably thinking you missed the whole alternate path to the tower in the Millwood Knights, but to be honest, that really doesn't add anything to my scores or any of my opinions. It's just another area that's another path that was something more difficult. In your words, not so great. But that's somehow my opinion. You're free to disagree with me. And that has been today's video. I'd like to thank you all for watching. I hope to see you guys next time. Take care out there.